Hey, Huey. Oh, look at this! Looks like he completed Battle Gear. It looks pretty cool, but yeah, like I alluded to before, we won't be able to use this. And the cited reason was gameplay balance issues. Apparently it was just far too strong. Now, if you've played this game a lot, you know, like I have, you've spent a lot of time... Oh, look, we got a custom operating system. You've spent a lot of time in the open zone with the vehicles and with D-Walker. You would know that they have their own physics that are very strange. D-Walker always wants to remain upright, but not really sticking to the ground. Look at all this equipment. The vehicles want to tilt sideways, and they want to launch off of the ground. Now, apparently, the parameters for this were like the worst of both worlds. It would levitate with its little tracks you see there. They're like Shagohod Hovertech. It would want to do that while maintaining uprighted, and it just didn't work well with the terrain of the game, so they ended up removing it. And it's certainly not for gameplay balance reasons, because, oh boy, this gameplay in this is not balanced. Now, there is a mod that I might take a look at that superimposes the battle gear over one of the armored vehicles, and it's pretty cool. It's the closest thing you're going to get to using battle gear. Man, we got a lot of cans of paint here. And you went with beige? Huey, come on. But, oh, I can't even open my iDroid to take a look. So we'll say goodbye to Huey for now. Yep, Diamond Dog's operating system. You know, that text is really illegible. We got to get higher resolution monitors. Wonder if the sound's going to break again. But from the iDroid, you can do outer ops, much like you could do... Oh, look at this graphic design, though. That's pretty nice. Authorized personnel only. Use caution in this area. No unauthorized entry. I can't speak. That's fine. It's not like, you know, you're here to listen to me talk or anything. Anyway, if we go to missions and combat deployment, that's what it's called in this game. We can, say, for example, go to plant gathering, and we can assemble a unit manually, or we can just send dudes out. Sure, let's go for it. And what happens here is any vehicles we get, in addition to battle gear, increase that circle. It's exactly like using Zeke in Outer Ops in Peace Walker. Oh no, how did gathering plants failed? I sent a big robot tank and a bunch of men, and they couldn't gather the plants. That's embarrassing. Oh, what a rinky-dink organization we got here. But I mean, we are playing Phantom Pain. And in any case, yes. That's all you do with it. That's all you're ever going to do with it. Upsetting. Very upsetting.
Welcome home, boss.
Don't speak with me when I'm taking a shower. Alright. Anyway, that's what Huey's up to. Unfortunate, we're never going to be able to use Walker gear for anything. Sorry, battle gear. We can use Walker gear, and we will. But that's not what we're going to do on the next mission, no. I think it's time we check back in with the boys. See how they're holding up. So, on a first playthrough, the next two missions are pretty interesting. you'll start Mission 21, the war economy, and then be taken to Mission 22, retake the platform. You have to complete retake the platform before the war economy, so we're actually going to do Mission 22 and then Mission 21. It's a very interesting mission because it takes place, as you see there, on Mother Base. It's the only main story mission that does.
Boss, we got an emergency here. Mother Base has come under attack, and several of our platforms are in enemy hands. The enemy is some rival outfit copying our MO. They've taken some of our staff hostage. We can't make a move without endangering them. But if we don't do something, they'll try to take off with our men. That would mean...
Oh no, not our men. We love our men.
There's only one option. Infiltrate without being spotted, eliminate their commander, and take back our platforms. Boss, you're the only one who can do this.
Well, I don't know about boss, but infiltrating a platform, not being spotted, we know a man for that job. And that man is, of course, the Solid Snake. Let's get ourselves a nice sleepy time sniper rifle here. Because that's going to come in handy. And let's just jump right in. Bright and early. So yeah, this is honestly one of my favorite missions in the game. Because it's the only time you actually get to infiltrate your base. And, you know, if you couldn't surmise, there's some pretty heavy MGS2 inspiration here. And I really like it. Now again, with Infinite Heaven, you actually can make your base hostile, which is pretty cool. We'll probably take a look at that in the future, but for now, we gotta retake the platform. Guest starring Mosquito. Wait a minute. Mosquito, who I pointed out specifically in Peace Walker. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's why I pointed that out.
They're gonna pay for it. Make certain of that, boss.
Eliminate the commander. Well, we know what that means. Oh. We can't use any cassette tapes during this mission. I wasn't aware of that. That's fine.
Be careful down there, boss.
Yeah, look at that. Interesting. So, as it says there, mission. We need to get Mosquito, and you can see we can tell Mosquito because it says his name on the back of his vest. Oh man, sunrise on the big shell. So I believe this mission actually changes a little bit. Yes, so depending on how many struts you have constructed, it's actually more difficult. If you only have one strut, you have to get here to the R&D platform, but, you know, that's where you have to start. So it'll be easier. Of course, I have all four built, so it's going to be much more difficult. But also much cooler. Hi.
Breathe. Don't do it.
So this is sort of a tutorial for one of the online modes, the FOB mode, where you can infiltrate other players' bases and take their men and resources and things like that. We'll talk about that when it's relevant. I'm playing this game completely in offline mode, so we won't be doing any of it, but there's kind of like an additional narrative in relation to the FOBs and, you know, this idea that other people are trying to copy Big Boss, build their own armies without borders, you know, their own private forces, and the arms race that happens because of that. And there's some meta-narrative in there that I actually really like, that I think is cool, but Boy, I wish, once again, it was in a different game. This game has too many ideas and it doesn't commit to any, like, one or two of them that might work. But yeah, it's very cool being able to go around a structure like this and do some good old-fashioned urban marine sneaking. Oops. Of course, that pipe climbing trick is one of the coolest, most underutilized things of the game, so it's nice to be able to actually put that to use here. I like it. It makes the case for an MGS2 remake. And I gotta be honest, I like sneaking around this thing more than I like sneaking around the big shell. If they ever do an MGS2 remake, again, this is being recorded like 3 days before that Snake Eater remake comes out. Oh boy, and that's looking pretty good. I hope that comment doesn't age poorly. Ah. But I think if they ever do an MGS2 remake, rather than it being so slavishly devoted, you know, to being an exact replica of the original game, I think it would be cool if they went a little more wild and had like interconnected struts like this, because it's very fun. MGS3's structure, I think, works well, being smaller areas, but MGS2, I mean, again, just go watch my playthrough of that if you want to hear several hours of me complaining about the structural and pacing issues of that game. If you don't want to hear me doing that, then just know that I have huge structural and pacing issues with that game. So yeah, look how cool this is. We can see multiple elevations. And this is kind of like the Strut E, the heliport outside area from MGS2. Complete with, of course, having a heliport on top. So it's like, oh man, yeah, imagine if that was buffed out and was kind of more like this. Instead of being, you know, a staircase where every time you go up and down it, you have to deal with a cutscene. Anyway, yeah, it's a cool mission. I genuinely really like this. It makes the case for this gameplay engine at the time, you know. They could have done some more games quickly on this with like more unique environments, something that was maybe entirely urban. But now, I mean, it's been 10 years, you know. We could much more easily do this with a modern hardware and modern setup. So I'm hoping that's what they end up doing with.
Hey, get up! What?
There we go. With Delta, is using that as a template for future games, because man, there's so much potential in more Metal Gear games. I like sneaking. I like sneaking through different, diverse places. Really using that tranquilizer pistol a lot too, which is again very MGS2. This whole strut's incredibly winding and kind of annoying to traverse, which makes it perfect for this mission. Because this whole time, we've been dealing with very open plains and a lot of, you know, long stretches of dusty trails. It's cool to see that this gameplay structure can work with a more traditional linear level design, but they're not going to do anything else with it. And again, by this point, you know, if you want to remake MGS 1 and 2, better off just using the framework that Delta's going to have. Can I climb this side? I don't think I can. No, I think that beam is in the way. Let's just climb down like a weird spider monkey. I can't get enough of that. The pipe climbing is very funny. And we can't get past that thick part, even though we're a thick boy. There were... Oh. This is a dead end. There was some interesting articles coming out before... Like a couple weeks before Phantom Pain was about to release. Oh my goodness, look at these boys.
Grenade!
Gotta be careful I don't enter the radius of that. But yeah, there were some articles coming out that were kind of cope, because a little before this game came out, it was pretty obvious that we'd seen everything the game was going to have to offer. And there's a pretty famous, at least to me, maybe infamous is the better word, article that, again, was massive cope, saying that the final act of Phantom Pain was going to be, once we construct Mother Base, it will be revealed to have been Outer Heaven, which doesn't really make much sense, because Outer Heaven is not an offshore plant in the Seychelles. It was in, like, southwestern Africa, I believe. I don't remember the exact location. But they said we were going to construct Outer Heaven and then have to infiltrate it as a young Solid Snake and defeat Big Boss in a sort of truncated remake of Metal Gear 1. And, you know, that would have been cool, yes, but definitely, like, there was nothing pointing at that even being a possibility. So I do like this mission at least kind of letting you infiltrate, you know, what you've built. It's a shame that the base construction wasn't a little more, like, customizable. There he is.
That guy's the target.
There's Mosquito. So, Mosquito could actually be seen in Ground Zeroes as well. He was the soldier that helped Kaz board the helicopter.
Okay?
So it's pretty funny, you know, once again, very Kaz-like, to be like, oh man, this guy who helped me before, he's slightly against me now, so gotta kill him, Snake. You gotta go solve all my personal grudges and fight my personal wars for me that I don't want to have on my hands, but also I love having personal wars on my hands. Hey.
Hey, who's that over there?
Who indeed? So he's setting his buddies to go after me, but I'm just going to, just going to give him a smack there. Because I want to wake him up and interrogate him.
CP, this is Zulu 4. We're taking fire. No fix on the enemy. Over.
Surrender.
Don't do it.
Understood. All units on alert. The enemy's
Your big boss? No, not quite.
Answer me.
So you know what hell's like, too.
Speak.
You still don't recognize me? No, it says it right there. You're Mosquito. Alright, let's grab him and get out of here.
going to extract him.
Of course.
We'll make him squeal till he's paid his due.
Attention hostile force. You've eliminated your commander.
What?
Escape is impossible.
I stood up a second too early.
Your weapons immediately.
Of course I did.
Surrender now. You will not be fired upon.
Anyway, yeah, some good old-fashioned strut sneaking. It's a cool mission. I'll show off some of the Infinite Heaven settings to let you infiltrate your entire base at a future point, because I think it's really cool. And yeah, also, you don't get a rank for this mission. Starring Mosquito. He was the MVP of the mission. The Mosquito very person. That's what that means, right?
Boss, we figured out who that enemy commander was.
Yeah,
He
Mosquito.
was on the staff at Mother Base 9 years back. Despite surviving the attack, he broke off from us and spent his years terrified that a cleanup squad would come after him. The isolation screwed with his sense of loyalty. A rumor, source unknown, had him convinced that the attack 9 years ago was orchestrated by you yourself.
Oh, maybe
Big
that's
Boss
the
sold out his
twist.
comrades to hide from the world. He thought that's why you weren't at the base that day. He was so desperate to take us down, he built up his own PF, copying us in every way. His idea of the perfect revenge. But in the end, he was just a victim of disinformation.
Imagine
I'll
that,
leave
being
you
a
to
victim of
decide how to deal
disinformation.
with him.